Hello guys, good evening. Good evening all. Am I audible? Can you see my screen? Very good evening everyone. Good evening. Very good evening everyone. Good evening and welcome to our day 4 of natural language processing. And in this session we continue with the topics of our previous session and we will be moving further. Fine? Good evening guys. Can I get few more response? Am I audible? Can you guys see the screen? Can I get few more response from everyone in chat box? Good evening. So what is the library we are discussing in our previous session? Can I get some response about it? Good evening. Very good evening all. So what's the library we are discussing in our previous session? About pandas for NLP, right? That's what we are discussing. And in this session, we are going to wind that up and move into pre-processing of text, which is the original context of today. We'll be discussing tokenization in this session regarding stemming, lemmatization, stop words, parts of speech, named entity recognition, then paragraph words, TFIDF, Ngrams. These are topics for the next session. So we need to wind up pandas. Along with that, we also need to complete the tokenization with NLTK. Fine. So can we start our session? Pandas, right? Yeah. Thanks for the response. And yeah, I hope we can start our session. So NLP day 4. And we need to continue with this on analyzing the data. So let us pick from here. And before that, we have our notebook from our previous session. So yeah, we have this going on. And one more thing guys, there are some discrepancies with this index and all, right? Yesterday I tried to do it after the session. It was working really well. The same thing with ABCD. See here, we even got the output by setting the index. So if you have a dictionary, you can create. Yesterday I think it could be some issue with the kernel or something. We got some unnecessary error. Sometimes happens. The same thing, see here the dictionary which I had, and when I create, I pass this along with index, which is a list. Since I have 4 entries here, 4 columns, 4 rows, I need to give 4 index, and if I run it, I'll be getting the respective index. Since we haven't used pandas here, and the reset index, for resetting the index, you can see now my data frame has the index of ABCD. Can you guys see it? Now D has something known as, if you look at D dot head, you have the index ABCD. So reset index is something like, if you want to set a new index, maybe if you want to use name as index, you can pass D dot set index. This is for setting a new index. Okay, maybe you can pass name. So we'll be getting the details, name as the index. See here. Fine. Similarly, if you look at your D, you have index which is ABCD. Maybe if you wonder, I just want to revert back to the old version, which is 0, 1, 2, 3 kind of version. You can now reset the index. Reset is for setting it back, okay, to its original form. So if you reset the index, you will be getting back the 0, 1, 2, 3. This will be given as a column. Okay, you can later on neglect it or do something with it. So I hope you guys understand how to set a new index, how to create an index, and how to reset the index back. Are we fine with this? I hope you guys got some issue with this in our previous session. Are we clear with this now? Can I get some response regarding the index which got us trouble in our previous session? Can I get some response? Can we keep on moving into the next one? So let's load the data set once again. We need the data set here. Diabetes data I have downloaded from our yesterday's session, right? So I'll run what all the necessary things. So we have this, so we move into further. Fine. I hope we have finally discussed about this. So data.head. Once again, we get back our library. So the final analyzing tool which we are going to see first with aggregate. Okay, so aggregate is something like if you want to apply multiple functions in the same series, maybe if you want to get mean, median together, you can use aggregate to apply a list of functions. In a list you can pass what all things you need, it is going to give you that. So if you want, you can go and check data of age. Okay, so I'll be getting the age series. You can use aggregate and pass a list. Maybe I want mean and the median value. Okay, so you get both, right? Usually if you want, you will be going separately. So this is a function, you can use aggregate to get together. That's a way of doing it. I hope aggregate is clear. Then moving into group by. Okay, this is important. This will help you to understand the data better. Maybe if we have some categorical columns, then it will work fine. So I'll upload the Titanic data set as well. Titanic is equal to pd dot read underscore csv. Let us load Titanic dot csv. Fine. Titanic dot head. Fine. So maybe if you want to group one column with other features, how they look, you can do it. So you can use to group the data. Maybe for example, I can first call group by a particular column. First let us try step by step. Maybe I want to just call the Titanic and let us group it based on the passenger class and see what happens. Okay, so Titanic dot group by passenger class, you get nothing, you get the data frame. Okay, so if you want, for example, let us get the mean value. So what am I getting here now? Okay, I think we have some text as well, right? We can't have text. Maybe we'll drop then. First of all, yeah, let us just drop Titanic dot drop. Let us drop the gender as well as name, because you guys don't know how to handle the text for now, so I'll do the same as of your knowledge here. In place equal to true to entirely drop it. Can I know why axis is 1 when I drop a column? Why we are going with axis 1? And what exactly here dot sum is giving us is it is grouping the data based on passenger class now. If you look at the passenger class, it's a categorical column. If you look at how to check is, you can call Titanic, select a single column, go with value counts or unique, you will get the unique guys, right? So you have first class, second class and third class. So now that parameter is now used to categorize. So if you look at the survived, you can see that how many persons from passenger class 1 has survived. 136 member from passenger class 1 has survived. That's the total sum. Okay, from passenger class 2, 87 people have survived, and passenger class 3, 119 people has survived. And if you look at this is the total age. Okay, maybe if you want the average, you can go with dot mean. So you will be getting the average values, but once again, see here guys, this is a string which is your ticket. So you have some text as well, cabin and all. We will be seeing how to encode it. So in the encoded data, you can use it in a more meaningful way. Instead, if you want to just get one detail, maybe something like if you want, we can go with some column names like survived. Okay, so this is the average, or if you want, you can go with the sum as well. So you can pass multiple column as well. That's how this group by is going to do. Maybe if you want, you can also go with fair. Okay, so this tells that what's the like if you go with mean value, you get the average value of the price for each particular column. We can get in this way. Okay, so maybe if you look at this data set, we don't have much of categoricals, so it's not a wise decision to use this data. Maybe we can group it based on the outcome. Once again, remember, 0 means the patient didn't or don't have diabetes, and 1 means they have diabetes. So if you want, you can go with group by. This is fully numerical, so you can play with this with group by outcome dot mean. So I will get all the average of for 0 and 1. Okay, so the average value of glucose for the patient who don't have diabetes is 109, and the average value of glucose for the patient have diabetes is 141, and their blood pressure, their insulin level, their body mass index, their age. Can you guys see how detailedly I'm getting this result based on the categories, right? So that you can do with group by. And moving further into the next one, you can use this isin to check whether something inside of a particular thing or where it is present. Maybe if you do something like this, data.isin. Okay, so this can be done with you can select a single column and then pass. Maybe if you do it in series, like passenger class, the first possibility is 3. This is Titanic, right? Wherever you get boolean like this, okay, this is 3 actually, you will get some booleans of true or false. Once again, see here guys, you get a boolean, which is, you can use it as a filter. Wherever you get something like this, if you look at your Titanic dot passenger class, you will be getting, if it is true, then it means 3 is present there. See here, wherever you get 3, you will be getting true, which means it is giving a filter for you now. So what you can do is, to this filter, create a square bracket and pass a similar shape to it. Maybe if you pass your entire Titanic data, you will be getting wherever it is true. Now you are selecting all the passenger class who belongs to 3. Can you guys see all the entries wherever it is 3, we are selecting it. Can you guys visualize this result? What's happening here? Yes. Can I get some response? So like that, we can use it as a filter. This can also be done simply by this Titanic of passenger class. Okay, if you just ask is equal to 3, then you are searching wherever it is 3, you get the same boolean. Whenever you get boolean like this, you can pass it as a filter and pass exact half of it, so you get the entire data. Maybe if you want to look at the age column now, you will get all the age of passengers belonging to the 3rd class. Okay, so like that we can categorize this. See here, totally 491 entries only available now. And then get dummies. So get dummies is used for encoding the values into 0 or 1 in the binary format. For example, let us have a scenario something like this. Where is our Titanic original data? Titanic.head. Okay, so if you look at the gender, we have male and female, but it is a text format. For our machine learning, we need it in numbers. We can encode male as 0 or male as 1 and female the vice versa. So for that we have some other methods, but with pandas you can go with get underscore dummies. And you can pass your column. Maybe if you want for the sex, you can pass it. This is under Titanic. Sorry guys, we have 2 data set, you have to call the respective thing. So what you are getting is, you are getting 2 different columns now. Okay, so maybe if you as type, if you turn it into integer, then you get ones and zeros. Okay, 0 means absent and 1 means present. Now you get 2 columns. Wherever you have 1, which means male is present, female 0, female present mean male will be 0. So it tells that 1 means yes, 0 means no, right? So it gives you in this format. So that is our get dummies will do. So we will use it to encode the values. And finally, if you done something and if you want to save your CSV file, maybe if you are selecting Titanic of age less than 40, you are selecting all the person's age who is less than 40. So if you want to save this entries alone, or if you want to save this data frame, okay, create a new variable, store that. You have a data frame. If you want to export it, you can use 2_csv, okay, and you have to pass a name with extension. Look here, you don't have anything else. I'll do something like 123.csv. So if you refresh it here, you will get that 123.csv which you can download. Okay, so that's how things work. You can save this, export it. So that's the analyzing data, and now we are going into some pre-processing methods. Still now we haven't had our scissors on our data. We have just explored it. Now we are going to decide what processing we are going to do. And before continuing, if you want to convert this masterclass into 1 month certified internship on natural language processing, you can join as an internship user and you will be getting all these benefits. You will be getting 30 days of recorded sessions, 30 days of presentations for download, 10 project source codes for download, 1 month internship certificate, participation certificate, 90 days of access to the courses, 4 hackathon live session every weekend to clarify your doubt, community group access, and you can get all these benefits by joining as an internship user at this discounted fee at $799, and the registration link will be posted in chat box. You can get these benefits by joining as an internship user. Not only this, if you are you will be getting a 30-day plan which has the basics of machine learning for the first 11 days. Then we have the NLP contents, which you can have a continuation of it, learn from the basics as well. And if you are planning to learn from the scratch of Python, machine learning, NLP, generative AI for image as well, okay, so you can register for our 4-in-1 bundle offer. You get 4 different courses. So this contains 4 courses in one bundle. So the registration fee is $1,299, and the link is posted in chat box. It's a limited offer, and tomorrow we are going to wind this up. At this fee, you are getting 4 courses. You are getting 120 records, weekly live sessions, 4 certifications, 1 month internship certification, 30 plus projects, downloadable presentation, internship confirmation letter, 1 year validity support, and community group. So you are getting 4 certifications in this at just $1,299. You can learn a lot, learn from the scratch, and get benefited. The registration link is posted in chat box. So continuing with our content. So we are going to do some data pre-processing now. So what is data pre-processing or data cleaning? Means fixing unwanted or improper data in your data set, and this will improve the accuracy of data by removing or correcting inaccuracies, missing values, duplicates, and irrelevant data. And it can make the data more consistent by reducing the risk of errors in the downstream process. So the first and foremost thing is your data should not have a null value. Okay, null values are your enemy. Your data should not have any null value. You can't allow it. So first you need to know how many null values you have, right? So for that you can use isNull option from data frame. Maybe if you look at Titanic dot head and then we go with isNull, you will be getting a data frame with booleans once again. Okay, so you have a lot of false as well as true. So here in 0th index we have true in cabin, which means it's a null value. If you look at the cabin, we have NaN. Wherever you have NaN, it is a null value. Okay, even if you check this Titanic dot info, so you see here, right, the non-null count actually decreases here because there are a lot of null values are also available there. Okay, so you can't go manually count this, right, how many. So what you can do is with this isNull, if you add dot sum, it is going to just add everything on column wise and then give you. So each column has 177 null value, cabin column has 687 null value, and embarked column have 2 null value. Got it? How to find it? Can you guys understand how to first check for null value? Can I get some response in the chat box? Why is it so silent? Are you guys following this? Can I get some response? Yes, what about others? Can I get few more response? Yeah. So now once you have found it, you have to decide, because when you train your model, you don't want the null values to be present. Okay, you have to either decide. You have two things you can do. Okay, you can either do imputation or you can do dropping. This is the basic methods with pandas. We have some advanced algorithmic way as well with scikit-learn and all. So the first thing is imputation, other thing is dropping. Imputation means you are going to manually enter some value. Okay, you are fill that value, but you don't know whether it's correct or not. You are going with some common values. We will see what it is. Dropping means you are going to delete the entire row. In whatever row I have null value, I am going to delete that row. Or if your column has too many null values, you can even delete that particular column itself if you find that not that much efficient for your prediction. Okay, but I'll tell you the problem is, see here guys, the amount of data you have, if it's high, then it's beneficial for you. In place of 1000, if you have 10,000 data, you are gifted. Okay, in place of 10,000, if you have 1 lakh rows, that's best data. Okay, so your idea is you need to have high amount of column, but if you drop some rows, that is going to affect the number of rows you have, because you are deleting some rows. So you have to decide. Maybe if only a few columns, maybe out of 10,000 you have just 10 null value, you can just remove it, no issue, because you are left with a lot. Okay, but if you have just 1000 rows and you have 600 rows null value, 600 detail have null value, then you can't drop it. Maybe if you think that that column itself not necessary, you can drop that single column itself, so that won't come under. Or you can do imputation. So under imputation, you can use fill NA. Okay, fill null value. You can pass a value that will be filled. If you pass 0, 0 will be filled in all the null places. Or you can also do something like, if it's a continuous value, you can take average value and place the average in all the places. You can get median value and fill it in all the places. You can get most repeating value and fill it in all the places. That can be done. So this is imputation. So first, see here guys, this column has 687 null values. If you look at the shape of your data set, how many rows we have? We totally have 891 rows, and more than 75% of my data set is having null in this cabin column. So what I can simply do is, this column, you can't drop these rows, you can't manipulate this row as well. If you impute it with average or something, it's not going to be useful. So what I simply do is Titanic.drop. So it's wiser to drop this column from your data set itself. Okay, so you are dropping column, this column itself, because it has too many null. Okay, so now looking at Titanic.head and Titanic.isNull.sum, you don't have that column because of too much null, you have removed it. And look at the age column, you have 177 entry of null. And one more thing, age, you can't drop it, and you can see that out of your total. Maybe if you look at this, you can divide this thing by Titanic.shape of 0 and multiply entire thing with 100, you get percentage of null. This is 19% of your data is null value. Okay, so just 19%, right? Maybe we can fill it with an average value. We can't drop this 200 entries as well, 177 entries. So what we can do is, we can just go for Titanic dot of age dot fill null value. So I can pass any value here to be filled. Maybe I'll do something like Titanic of age dot average value comma in place equal to true. So we are filling them with null value. So now if you look at the isNull.sum, what you are left with? You are left with only 2 null places in embarked, and what we can simply do is, we can go for dropping. So how to drop a null value? If you drop a null, it is going to remove that entire row. It is a row wise action. So you can use drop NA to drop that with in place equal to true. You will be dropping those two entries. So if you now look at Titanic dot shape, those two rows has been removed where it is null. So from 891 you have 889. Okay, and if you look at null value, you don't have any null values now. This is the best example with all the possibilities which you can do. I hope handling null value is clear. Is it fine? Can we move to the next one? And if you want to check for duplicated, you can use dot duplicated dot sum to get the duplicates. And if you have duplicates, you can go with drop underscore duplicates. It will keep only one entry and all the remaining duplicate rows will be removed. Duplicate rows. Okay. So you can go for Titanic dot duplicated dot sum. If you have any number, you have to drop it. I don't have any duplicate here, so we continue with this. Okay. If you have, use drop underscore duplicates. So finally in Pandas, we are going to discuss the last thing of Pandas, which is correlation. Okay. So correlation is something like it uses something known as Pearson correlation. It calculates the relationship between one with the other. Okay. Maybe something like this. If one increases, if x-axis increases and y-axis increases, it's a positive correlation. If x increases and y decreases like this, it's a negative correlation. Opposite, right? If one has no effect on each other like a straight line, then it is no correlation. And you can get, okay, so it gives a table with how related it is. And if you use .corr, you get a table like this where your index and the column name will be same. And what it tells is, sir, in database we have not null. Where in database we have not null? In database, if you set that particular column as not null, then when you enter that, you will be getting error. If you leave it null, you will be getting error. You can't leave it as null. But these data sets, we don't know who has collected in which database or what, right? So these are publicly available data sets. So you have to be verifying this, okay? So this correlation, how you can do, check is, you can cross verify, okay? So how index is related with index, they both are same. So they have one correlation because they are exactly same. And this correlation has a maximum value of 1 and minimum value of -1. And if it is either towards +1 or nearer to -1, which is actually high correlation. If it's closer to 1, it tells that high positive correlation. If one increases, the other also increases. If you have -1 or closer to -1, it is telling that if one increases, the other one decreases. Negative, high negative correlation. If it is anywhere near to 0, it tells that there is no relation at all. So this is how you read it. If you go with Titanic dot or data dot corr. So our columns now correlated. So if you want to find how pregnancies or how glucose is related with the body mass index, you have 0.22 here. They don't have much. Okay. If you look at outcome, what is outcome? We will be mostly interested in the target, which tells that whether the patient has disease or not. Any high value here, 0.4. So glucose has nearly half of relation with the outcome, which tells that if the glucose increases, the possibility of diabetes also increases. That's what this 0.4 tells. And these are 0.0 we won't consider. If it's nearer to 0, we can't consider. And a negative value also nearer to -1, which tells high negative correlation. So I hope you guys understood about Pandas. So now we are going to continue. Can we continue with the next one, which is our tokenization of NLP. Now we move specifically into NLP pre-processing. And before that, if you want to convert this masterclass into 1 month certified internship on NLP, you can join as an internship user and get all these benefits such as 30 days of recorded sessions, 30 days of PPT, downloadables, source code of project files, 1 month internship certificate, participation certificate, 90 days of access to all the courses, 4 hackathon live session and community group. You can get it at a discounted fee at $799. And the registration link is posted in chat box. You can join as an internship user and get all these benefits. So you will be getting a day wise learning plan for 30 days. It's a 1 month internship. You will be getting all these things. Or if you are planning to learn from the scratch, learn one step ahead, you can register for our 4-in-1 bundle offer with Python course, machine learning course, NLP course, and generative AI with image from scratch using PyTorch course. You can get all these things at 4-in-1 bundle offer with the registration fee at 1299. The link is posted in chat box. It's a limited offer and we are going to close it tomorrow. It's very low fee for 4 course. You get 4 certificates, 120 records, weekly live sessions, 30 plus projects, downloadable PPTs, 1 year validity support and community support as well. So now we move into text pre-processing 1. So we are going to start with a library which is called as Natural Language Toolkit, also called as NLTK. It's a Python library used for working with natural language processing. Natural Language Toolkit is the name of it. So NLTK is a popular Python library for NLP tasks. It helps convert text into number which the model can easily work with. And NLTK has tools such as tokenization, stemming, tagging, parsing, sentiment analysis, and a lot easier way to work with the data of NLP. So to install this library, we have to go with pip install NLTK and you can import NLTK. But there's a problem. NLTK has a lot of things to be downloaded. Every time you start a day, go into your notebook and type nltk.download and pass all. Because if you don't pass in between, when we try to access something, you may get error that it's not available and it will tell you to download. It's like you will be finding it very difficult. Okay, every time you want to download small things, it's difficult. So you can simply download all and then work further. It will be really easy for you to continue. So for working with this, I am having a separate notebook now for our practice. A sample text I am having, which we will be practicing now. We have some paragraphs here, sample and data. We'll be working on it later. So I'll start with import NLTK and nltk.download all. We need to pause it, and this download all will take nearly 1 or 2 minutes, couple of minutes to download. Okay, let it download all the required things. We will continue with the next one, which is we are going to see tokenization in this session. Remaining topics like parts of speech, stemming, lemmatization, stop words, TFIDF, bag of words, Ngram we have in the next session. On Sunday, tomorrow we have session, so please make sure you attend tomorrow's session as well. Tomorrow's session is the very important session because on day 6 on Monday we are going to discuss about a project. If you want to understand that project, how it works, you need to have the solid knowledge of what pre-processing we are going to start now and what exactly we are seeing in the next session. So please make sure you attend tomorrow's session. Okay, don't take breaks on Sunday. So talking about tokenization, it is one of the very basic process in NLP. We used to do tokenization. Why? Because in tokenization, it's the process of splitting a text into smaller units called tokens. And these tokens could be individual words or phrases or even sentences depending on the task at hand. Why we are doing it? By breaking down a text into its constituent parts, we can begin to analyze its meaning and structure. You may have a bunch of paragraph or a document. If you want to make your computer understand, you have to tell word by word or sentence by sentence. So using tokenization, whatever output you get, they are called as tokens. See here, I am having a paragraph, and if I perform sentence tokenization here, I'll be getting all the sentences separately. Okay, so this is our first sentence. What's a sentence? A thing which ends with a period, that's a sentence, right? So you got our first sentence, second sentence, third sentence, fourth sentence, and so on. So you'll be splitting like this. And these are tokens of sentence tokenization. Then you can also perform word tokenization, and mostly we will perform word tokenization. What does that do is, whatever paragraph you have, it will be turning them into individual words. Okay, so we'll be getting space, the, land, and all. So but you will be getting all these separated things in a list. So that is word tokenization and sentence and word tokenization. Are we clear with this? Can we imply this practically? And it can be done with nltk.sent underscore tokenize and nltk.word underscore tokenize. Can we discuss about this? Can I get some response in the chat box? Can I get some response? Few more response in the chat box. Are you guys following this? Yeah. And you guys can see here that it has been downloaded, right? So the download has been completed. So once you are ready, what you can do is, what's the exact thing? NLTK, you can go with send tokenize, and NLTK word tokenize, both you can do. So before that, let us see our sample first. Okay, I'll print the sample. What am I having here? I have a sentence, a paragraph which has a lot of sentences, words inside of it. So first let us do something like this. If you want nltk dot sent underscore tokenize and pass your sample inside, I'll store it as sentences is equal to this. Okay, so now the output will be something like this. If you look at the sentences, what do you get is you get a list. Okay, so what is this list is? It is separated by comma. You get sentence by sentence. If you look at the length of your sentences list now, you get 8, which is the number of sentences you have. If you want to access sentence 1, what you can do is pass the index. Indexes starts from 0, so it gives you the blue whales just paid. Okay, sentences, missed the spelling. Okay, you get the 0th index sentence or first sentence, then you get the second sentence, you get the third sentence, you get the fourth one, you get the fifth one. This is sentence tokenization. Got it? Can we move into word tokenization? Mostly we will use word tokenization for our processing and all. So if you want to use word tokenization, go with words equal to word underscore tokenize and pass your, you can pass your entire like nltk dot word tokenize, right? You can pass your entire sample or your paragraph here, you will be getting the words, or if you pass sentences, you will be getting your words. You can pass both. Finally, you will be getting, let us pass the sample here. And if you look at the words, you will be getting a list of words which has each word separated by comma. The blue whales just played there first, comma, comma, comma. Okay, maybe if you want to access word by word, you can go and use indexing to get the words individually. The is the first word, right? So if you want to look at the length, you can go with words. So you totally have 156 words, which also has punctuations also counted as words. If you guys just see it, maybe I'll slice and show you the first 10 words. Okay, or first 20, we'll see whether punctuation is counted. You can see the punctuation is also separated. Prem Kumar, if you want a sentence, you have to use sentence tokenize. It's meaningless. What you are asking is. And one more Python trick, guys. I don't know how many of you guys know Python completely. Okay, yeah, it's using split. Very good, Shakti. If you use, for example, let us go with something like this is my sample, right? What I can also do is I can use sample. Guys, am I audible? Can I get some response? There is some power issues with internet issues. Just to make sure, am I audible? Can we continue with this? Just a 5 minutes, I'll be completing this. I just need to get some response. Am I audible? Clear, guys? Can we continue? I hope I am in